Alright. Hello, chat. Hey, everybody. We are here today watching the Darktide transmissions. This was something that's been uploaded by Fat Shark a couple of times. I only saw number 10 recently when it came out. And it made me, have some thoughts. I thought it was a teaser for something. I didn't realize they'd done a bunch. So I thought, why not go through all 10 of them? I'll do it as a recording. I'll talk about what I think. And, maybe there'll be some more interesting things. So let's get started.
This is Wormwood. I repeat, this is Wormwood. This is Wormwood calling Morningstar.
So they're all from Wormwood.
I'm using Secure Vox Encrypt Alpha 6. Morningstar, respond and confirm. This is Wormwood. I repeat, this is Wormwood.
Very similar to them.
Initial report begins. I have reached Atoma and am now embedded in the main hive, Tertium Prime. My presence is undetected at this time. Tell the Master that he was right. There is heresy here. The signs of it are slight, as yet, but I can detect its unmistakable trace. I will compile a full report once I've conducted more thorough investigations of the situation in the hive.
The signs of heresy are light. Not now, they're not.
The Vox transmission signal is bad. Please respond. The Master is needed here urgently. The source of the heresy must be found and stamped out before it escalates. This is Wormwood, using Secure Vox Encrypt Alpha 6.
Okay. So that's the first one, which is just your basic, I'm assuming this was released just after Darktide was? Which is your basic, then...
This is Wormwood calling Morningstar. Repeat, this is Wormwood calling Morningstar. I am using Secure Vox Encrypt Gamma 2. Morningstar, respond. I have detected...
Morbius 6th 4th Brigade, assemble in the embarkation. Support elements, report to Area 17.
Can you hear me? The signal is poor. Morningstar, acknowledge. I repeat, I have detected indications of cult activity in the lower and mid-levels of the hive. They are covert, keen to keep themselves hidden amongst the population. But there are signs of ritual activity, and I have seen unholy sigils carved on walls and doors. I cannot decipher them, but they are clearly intended to pass clandestine messages between cult cells. I urge...
This must be before you arrive on Atoma, right?
God, Emperor, damn this Vox! I'm not even sure if you're receiving these reports, Morningstar. Please, respond and confirm. You are needed here now. There is a great evil arising, and I cannot battle it alone. Morningstar, this is Wormwood, using Secure Vox Encrypt Gamma 2.
Yeah, so this is going to be before you even arrive on the Morningstar.
Morningstar. Morningstar, respond and confirm. This is Wormwood. I am hearing unverified chatter of a contagion outbreak in Tertium Hive. Several levels have been locked down without explanation, and the...
Troop dispersal, troop dispersal. Stand by for revised orders.
Morningstar, are you there? I need you to acknowledge my signal. It has been 12 weeks since your last transmission. I can only hope you are en route. The Hive authorities refuse to confirm a plague outbreak, but local citizens have told me stories of affliction in neighboring zones. I have been...
Orders received. Disembarking as per instruct. Reassigned troops awaiting transport to Area 19.
Is there, a law for how long it took us to get there?
I have visited a nearby zone where I found an aid station and spoke to a medic. She was too afraid of censure to verify specifics, but she told me that the plague does not respond to standard curative treatments. I fear, therefore, the malady may have some component of the warp, and thus it is vital.
Again, this is still just them talking about the generic Nurgle infestation, from what I can tell.
Morningstar, this is Wormwood. The plague is growing worse. I can confirm 6 zones now locked down. The mood here is ugly. People are afraid.
Release clamps. I redirect troop transport 99 at a low orbit approach.
I repeat, the Hive authorities have now officially confirmed an outbreak of pestilence. Precaution measures have been issued. Units of the Mobian 6 Astra Militarum, scheduled for frontline deployment, have been reassigned to assist with quarantine control in the Hive.
Drop 2, respond.
So that'll be like all of the
Drop 2,
tanks
what is your status?
and the guardsmen
Drop 5,
holding the line
advance
when
to
you
Ask
first
myself, how
enter.
bad must it be if frontline units have been reassigned? The Fringe War is Atoma's primary concern, and yet they retain troop elements to handle the crisis. Morningstar, I beg you acknowledge. How long until your arrival? We can...
Yeah, that's going to be all the units you see when you first enter a zone.
Morningstar, this is Wormwood. Immediate response requested. Situation critical. Acknowledge via secure Vox encrypt Delta 4 as soon as...
Target destroyed. Advance into transit sub-access. Praise the darkness and the notch. A new beginning born of old fears.
Hello.
I've seen evidence of it with my own eyes. This plague, this pox, it is the work of chaos. It deforms and ruins those infected in the most hideous ways, and provokes manic behavior and demented raving that is...
Kill confirmed. Target is ablaze. And you hear the voice of truth, the giver of blessings untold, and the Lord.
The grandfather. We love me. We love us some grandfather Nurgles.
In the name of the Emperor, please. The demons of decay will kill this hive unless you...
So, has Morningstar still not arrived, or are they not responding?
This is Wormwood. Status red emergency. Tertium Hive is under direct assault. I've taken shelter in a neighboring zone because it is no
Drop
longer
7.
safe where I was...
Orders confirmed. Kill them all. By the rod, and the way, and the 3 low tide, by pestilence unbound and eternity.
Say again. The Astra Militarum assets assigned to assist the crisis situation have turned on us. They are attacking the Hive. I repeat, the Mobian 6, Blacklist and Celebrated Regiment has turned. Throne, save us. They are attacking the Hive and intend to kill us all.
Only way to make sure there's no spread of
I
the
have seen
infection.
bodies of the dead in the streets. Hundreds. I have seen transit stations on fire. They have secured beachheads and are advancing. We have no means to resist. Morningstar, I beseech you for the love of the God Emperor who protects us all. Answer me!
Okay. So this all happened before you arrived, I
I
guess.
am doing all I can to maintain broadcasts. The plague is spreading, and we are confined to our zones. But the traitor guard are advancing. They are killing and looting and jamming transmissions.
The giver of blessings untold.
I wonder who that is doing the speaking for Nurgle.
Shut off. I have switched to secure Vox encrypt Epsilon 8. Morningstar, the traitor guard are everywhere. Hive defenses are no use because we let them in. We are attacked by our own soldiers.
Slough off your mortal suffering and be reborn.
I remain convinced that the guard units have brought this heresy with them. They are the carriers. They have brought it back with them from the front line of the Fringe War. Something they encountered out there on the feral frontier. Some ancient madness that now dwells within them and infects anything and anyone who comes in.
Okay. So that's saying that the guard brought whatever the infection is back with them from the Fringe.
The dark arises. Let it into your blood. Feel the rot of its touch.
This is Wormwood. Secure Vox encrypt Kappa 1. Morningstar, I feel you are lost. I have received no transmission from you since my arrival months ago. If you can hear me, if you yet live, then know that the Master is needed here as never before. Only the Inquisition can save Tashi alive now. It has gone quiet. So quiet. I think they've run out of people to kill in this zone. Those that live are hiding in terror. I'm told adjacent zones and they're under assault. And there are things loose. Demon things. Tell the Master that. They stir in the shadows of the low hive, but they are clawing their way up to the light. And when they get here, we will...
See, I heard... This is in like the last one as well. They speak about something chasing them. Is it this one?
It's Wormwood. I'm in hiding. I've been forced to relocate 4 times in the last 6 days. Traitor Guard squads are moving hab to hab, slaughtering citizens. We are hidden like rats, in cellars, in ventilation chutes. Wherever there is a hope, they won't find us and murder us all.
Let your blood be ours, and your words be truth.
I frequently hear gunfire, often just streets away. And when it goes quiet, we hear the chanting. I assume it's the traitors, worshipping whatever dark gods they found on the fringe worlds. If it's not them, then may the Emperor protect us. For I have no idea what could be making those sounds.
Give your life unto the eye. Give your life
The Eye
unto
of
the
Terror,
dark.
I'm assuming.
Submit your soul to the
To the glory of chaos. By any chance?
I have just been told there are rumors of things moving in the lower levels. Dark things that are not human, that were never human. Morningstar, I will try to learn more, but it is...
So is that monstrosities they're talking about maybe? Perhaps they're talking about the monstrosities, because I think monstrosity is the
Where
only
are you?
thing, like the
Where is the
beast
Master?
of Nurgle is the only thing that
Where
wasn't
is Grendel?
originally human, right?
This is your
Or the
servant.
plague ogre, I
This
suppose,
is
but they were just
Wormwood.
ogrons
I don't know how much
jacked up on
longer
the
I can-
plague.
Are you there? Please. If you can hear me, respond. I believe I have been detected, and my identity as your agent
it's this
discovered.
one.
They are looking for me. They want me dead. I think they...
This is the one that I heard and made me think that perhaps it was like a teaser for something.
I think they have sent something to find me. I can feel it stalking me, slipping from shadow to shadow, hunting for my hiding place. I keep switching locations to find new ones to hide in, but it has my scent. Please, Master, I need your help. I need it now. It's getting closer. It wants to silence me.
See, that was the last one. That was the last one that I heard, and I assumed it was a teaser, because currently, what are our monstrosities? We've got Plague Ogren, we've got Beast of Nurgle, we've got Chaos Spawn, and we've got Demon Host. I think those are the 4. Those are the only 4 I can think of. But the speaking of something moving from the shadows hunting her. I mean, you could say it's the Poxhounds, but I thought perhaps it would be them trying to... Because, again, Plague Ogren and Beast of Nurgle and Chaos Spawn, they're all kind of... They're very similar. They're big, have a lot of health, and while they do different things, like the Plague Ogren belly slams you to knock you apart, the Beast of Nurgle eats you, and the Chaos Spawn grabs you and flings you like the mutants do. They're very much designed in the same way, which is just, separate you. Only the Demon Host is slightly different, and that's because it's designed more like a witch from the old Left 4 Dead games, which is the person that triggers it gets absolutely destroyed. And honestly, I think the demon hosts have got a bit more health than they necessarily need, because it's really, unless you've got an Ogren with a shield, because then they just don't take any damage, it's really hard to punch through a demon host, even with everyone focus firing it, before it kills the target. But I mean, I guess that's the idea, so that's totally fine. But with them talking, the thing moving from shadow to shadow, hunting them, getting a scent, I was thinking, could they perhaps make something that's not as big and tanky, give something like a much lesser health value, but make it fast, and like perhaps like, because they already have darkness as a mechanic, because obviously they have the when the whole area is dark and you can't see and you have to sort of feel your way around. So they have darker areas and lighter areas. Have it so it can maybe disappear when it moves into dark areas and reappear in others, like teleportation between darkness. Like something like that as a new monstrosity, just to, you know, spice things up a little bit, give you something that's not just, you know, a wall of flesh that everyone just has to focus fire down while one person holds block, because that's the Plague Ogren and the Chaos Spawn, whichever target they focus just holds their melee weapon with block while everyone else blasts it until it changes who it's attacking. It's very similar with the Beast of Nurgle as well, apart from the Beast of Nurgle picks you up and eats you when you're blocking, which makes it a bit more problematic, but then you're just inside it and waiting for it to spit you out while your team, you know, blasts it. So it's all a very, very similar way of dealing with the monstrosities, and I like the monstrosities. I do. I think the monstrosities are really cool, especially like the fact that you have waves of weakened ones, or, you know, and the big strong ones. Like I like them, but I just think there has to be more ways of putting monstrosities or dangerous creatures into the game than just here's a big health pool that knocks you apart. Again, maybe there's one thing very similar to what the demon host does, targets a specific person, but instead of like the demon host, which just absolutely rails them, it like will attack. It'll come out when you're in the middle of maybe a horde or something, or when you're close to an area of darkness, it'll go for you. You have to fend it off for a couple of seconds, and then it'll dash back in. Have it as a modifier. Doesn't even necessarily have to be a monstrosity. You could have it as a modifier that, you know, every now and then you'll come under attack from something, and all you have to do is try and survive it, beat it off, deal it enough damage, and then it, you know, disappears into the darkness and comes back later. You can have it as a modifier, you can have it as a type of monstrosity. You know, something different from just the big walls of flesh. As much as I love the big walls of flesh, I just think. But then the problem is, because they've very much focused on Nurgle as the primary god of that's causing the infestation in Darktide on the planet I've forgotten the name of now. Nurgle doesn't exactly do, you know, speed and all that sort of stuff. His units are slow, tanky, and will eventually get the job done. They take a lot of damage, and they kind of just keep on trucking, at least in the board game. I'm just trying to think what you could, because obviously you don't want to put Chaos Space Marine. You don't want to put Chaos Space Marines in because, I mean, you haven't got normal Space Marines. This is Imperial Guard. So having the basic Pox zombies is fine, the Pox hounds, and having things like the Beast of Nurgle. But I'm trying to think, like, what would be a good speed unit, and I can't really think of any. But again, they also don't have, like, they could have a Great Unclean One being the sort of final boss, maybe. They don't actually have a final boss sort of mission either. Currently, their boss missions are fight the, I guess, sort of. It's not even a Chaos Space Marine. It's like a jacked up Imperial Guardsman with a Force Shield, or an Invulnerable Shield, I guess is what that bubble's supposed to be. Representative of an Invulnerable Shield, I suppose, but he's not wearing Space Marine armor, so he's not a Chaos Space Marine. But I think a lot of their talking, like, she's talking about something moving in the depths of the hive. That could be, you know, a whole bunch of cool later missions, such as, like I said, Great Unclean Ones and things like that. There is a whole bunch of Nurgle demons they haven't played with. There's no Nurglings. Even the Pox Walkers they have aren't. They're like more like Pox zombies, which it's a bit hard to explain. But essentially, when humans get infected with Nurgle rot, they become Pox Walkers. They become Pox zombies. Pox Walkers are like the big lanky demons with the big swords. I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played Warhammer 40k. I mean, Demons are in 40k and Fantasy, but since I played Warhammer, it's been a very, like, 4th or 5th edition was when I played. So we're talking eons ago. They're on 10th edition now, and I got no idea what's going on. But they could certainly have, even if they have to dip into some slightly less Nurgly Chaos units, they could certainly have some sort of lower health pool, fast-moving units that either count as monstrosities or something like that. Something to dilute the pool of monstrosities from, look, here's a big fat blob, to, you know, something a bit more interesting. But, I mean, that's just my thoughts. I like this whole transmission thing. This is cool. Although, from the sounds of it, I would say that the person talking on the transmissions is very, very dead. Like, really long dead, or either very long turned into a follower of Nurgle, right? There's just no way they're still alive. Like, if all of this happened before you even arrived on Atonema, in whatever the ship's called, like, the Morningstar even. Yeah, if this all happened before the Morningstar even arrived, they are dead. As much as I saw people in chat saying they don't want Wormwood, I think that was her name, Wormwood. They don't want Wormwood to be dead, and she's been around since, obviously, when the game first started with these transmissions. There's no way she's still alive if all this happened before the Morningstar arrived, right? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe they are just sort of using these transmissions as a teaser for stuff that's coming out in the future. But they have just done a major class update, and the major class update is fantastic. But I'm assuming that's taken most of their focus for a while now, so we're probably not looking at any new missions or monstrosities for maybe a couple of months, 6 to 8 months probably, which is a bit disappointing. But like I said, I've been having a lot of fun with it, so maybe some new people, and now that it's on, you know, Game Pass and Xbox and all the rest of it, and free to play on a whole bunch of stuff, maybe there'll be a whole bunch more people joining and playing, and we'll get a little bit of a, you know, following for our Darktide content. Who knows? Anyway, that was my thoughts on all the transmissions. Most of the such transmissions are very basic, you know, normal stuff explaining, you know, how chaos infects a planet. Most of this stuff is, if you have any knowledge of lore from 40k or how chaos functions generally on Imperial planets, that's not surprising in any way. But the later stuff, all the with talking about shadows moving in the lower sections and being chased by whatever that thing is, that could be so good. That could be cool. But it depends if Fat Shark actually does anything with it. Again, that's entirely up to them. I have no idea how. As a game, I think Darktide is fantastic, so I'm not about to tell them that they need to put anything into it, because I think the game is absolutely fantastic just as it is. Now that they've done the talent system and you can actually like build yourself a character that is interesting, I think the game's fantastic. So anyway, those are my thoughts. And if you want to come watch, my Darktide streams are on Thursday usually from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Yeah. So yeah, come check them out. Maybe I'll see you there.